on air and streaming live. CBS News Detroit at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight on CBS News Detroit at 6 o'clock. We are on the air and streaming on the CBS News app. I'm Jeff Skaversky.
I'm Shayna Humphreys, and first tonight, we just want to acknowledge what a historic day this is for all of us here at CBS News Detroit as we launch our first ever newscast in over 20 years. All of us are here to tell you your stories from all over Metro Detroit, and that starts right here, right now.
We are especially thankful to every single one of you tuning in and watching tonight. Joining Shane and I are sports anchor Ronnie Duncan, as well as next weather meteorologist Ahmed Badji, our team that'll be with you every single night, bringing you news, sports, and weather.
So let's get right to it. We're going to start with weather tonight because there is not only snow on the ground, Ahmed, but we have significant snow coming this week.
Wouldn't you know it? We're just going to dive right on in. Yeah, we've got a pretty solid winter storm that is actually moving on in for the middle of our week, but the timing is really the key here. Okay, so let's start to break it down actually for you and really show you how long it takes for this whole thing to move on through. So we already have some snow on the ground, right? And we are going to continue to actually see a little bit of it. Doppler radar nice and clear, so no worries there. This is actually something we do want to talk about. The temps holding in the 20s where we are going into the rest of the night are going to allow any of that snow that's melted to start to refreeze on the sidewalk or even on some of the area roadways, especially local roads. So if you haven't had a chance to get out there and salt just yet, might want to take care of that. But we're the next weather team, so let's focus right away on the next 7 days. We got the 30s here going into Wednesday. That's that winter storm. It starts after the morning commute, but it gets worse as the day goes on. We go into Friday, we get another little clipper and another one Sunday into Monday, and wouldn't you know it, we already have winter storm watches for 3 of our counties going into Wednesday. But beyond that point then, the big issue is going to be how long does the snow stick around, because we are looking at least a few inches. We've got a solid pin in about more than 4 inches. So that's the one we can put a pin in right now. We're going to talk about numbers and actually really focus on the impacts for the second half of the day Wednesday coming up in just a bit.
A lot to get ready for.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Ahmed.
All right, let's bring in sports anchor Ronnie Duncan with a huge story on the high school football field involving the Belleville football coach.
You know, no one has been able to talk to this man. He did not want to talk about the allegations. He didn't want to talk about anything. But now he's talking to us, and we're going to hear about it. Who am I talking about? At one time, Jermaine Crowell was considered the next great one among high school football coaches in the state of Michigan. Today, he's on the outside, looking in at Belleville High, after the Michigan High School Athletic Association banned him for 2 years from coaching anywhere in the state. I was able to speak with him one-on-one in an interview you can see only here on CBS News Detroit.
You get what you earn. You know, we all make mistakes, and when you make a mistake, you got to own up to it.
Those are words of responsibility dedicated to the truth that Crowell told me at Cut's Barbershop in Belleville. Words that Jermaine not only taught his players, words he lives by himself.
You know, and I want people to know that, you know, you didn't hear me contesting, because some of the things that they accused me of actually happened. I did pick up and drop off, and I did it for a number of years.
Crowell's crime was violating the undue influence rule, which accounts to barring him from coaching any sport over the next 2 academic seasons in Michigan. Did Crowell cut corners or trim his story to make himself look good? The Michigan High School Athletic Association thinks so. Still, Jermaine stands strong on his principles, on why he did what he did. What did you do wrong?
What I was accused of, I actually didn't do. You know, they accused me of the Crawford kid that's over at King. You know, he was in an interview with Mick McCabe, and during the interview, some type of way, Mick got a hold to, well, he practiced at Belleville. He did practice at Belleville. Then Mick said that I gave him a ride, or the kid said that I gave him a ride. That was one of the kids that I actually never gave a ride.
Crowell objects to reports that claim that he was fired. He told me it was his decision to step down. Many in the Belleville community are still in pain over coach's decision to remove himself from the football program without a fight.
As soon as that happened, the first thing everybody thought was, we're going to go back to old Belleville.
Would you say, not that you cheated, but did you say you cared too much?
I don't think you can never care enough. And if that's what it is, if I'm gonna be wrong for that, oh, then I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna be wrong all day.
How about it? Maybe a complex story, but he is still earning a check in Belleville in the athletic department. However, he told me once that 2-year ban is over, you can expect to see him back coaching on the sidelines. He says, but this time in Detroit.
Sounds like a promise. I'm curious, what do the people in the community, the parents of the players, what do they think about
Well,
all
they're
this?
hurt because he has more than an 80% graduation rate. These kids were moving on to college. They were state champions. You know, you love your coach.
Yeah.
He was just trying to help a kid out, and that's against the rule.
All right. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
It'll be interesting to see where he lands on his feet in a few years. All right. Legal gambling is leading to big wins for the state of Michigan and, of course, Detroit, too. The Michigan Gaming Control Board says last year casinos paid $302 million to the state of Michigan in the form of gambling fees and taxes. The money goes directly into the state's budget. Here at home, the 3 downtown casinos paid an additional $84 million directly to the city. Michiganders placed a total of nearly $2 billion in bets, both online and in person, last year alone.
Developing now in Des Moines, Iowa. Police say 2 children have died and 1 adult has been wounded in a shooting at a charter school. The shooting was reported just before 1 o'clock this afternoon at a nonprofit called Starts Right Here, which is aimed at helping at-risk youth. Police say the adult who was hurt is an employee of the school and was taken to the hospital. We are told in serious condition. The students' ages have not been released yet. Police say 20 minutes after the shooting, 3 suspects were taken into custody following a traffic stop. They say 2 suspects stayed in the vehicle while a third ran away and was caught. A rep for the Des Moines Police Department says the shooting was a targeted incident.
The incident was definitely targeted. It was not random. There's nothing random about this. It was certainly a targeted incident. But as far as, again, motive, that's something that we are going to try and figure out.
Now, that school serves 40 to 50 students at any given time. This is a developing story, and we will bring you the latest as it comes in.
A Michigan woman is behind bars tonight for allegedly being part of the protest that turned violent over the weekend in Grosse Ile resident Emily Murphy was one of the 6 arrested. The 37-year-old Murphy faces 8 charges, including 4 felonies, among them domestic terrorism, arson, and interference with government property. This all stems from the deadly police shooting of an environmental activist, which then sparked Saturday's violent protest. The activist, who went by Tortuguita, was killed Wednesday when authorities were clearing protesters from a proposed police training facility in downtown Atlanta. Police say they fired in self-defense. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic.
At that point, saw people smashing out taillights of cop cars and windows. What I saw wasn't peaceful. Yeah, no, I mean, blowing up cop cars and throwing fireworks at police officers is not peaceful.
Bond was granted for one of the arrested protesters, but a judge ruled Murphy and the others pose a flight risk because they are from out of state. The opioid abuse continues to be a major issue around the country, and if someone overdoses, you may only have minutes to react.
With that in mind, Wayne State University is taking action to help save lives on campus. We're zooming in on Wayne State. That's along Woodward between Warren and I-94 in Detroit, and that's where we find CBS News Detroit's Ray Strickland.
He joins us live tonight with the life-saving details. Ray?
Well, Jeff, these vending machines are pretty easy to navigate. All you have to do is enter an item number. I'm going to enter 34. And then easy enough, a package of Narcan will come out. It contains 2 doses. And one of the more important things about this vending machine is that the Narcan is free. Anyone can come in and get one. No judgment. The goal here is to simply save lives.
You can't put a dollar amount on a life. And at Wayne State University, that couldn't be more true.
The opioid epidemic continues to wreak havoc on our communities.
Matt Costello is the program manager of Wayne State Center for Behavioral Health and Justice in the School of Social Work. He's helping lead a program that's tackling the opioid epidemic head on, placing dozens of free Narcan vending machines in areas throughout Michigan, including here at Wayne State's undergraduate library.
We wanted an area that had as much availability to the public as possible. So a facility that might be only open a couple days a week for 4 or 5 hours, while might have high need, might not have the reach that we're looking for.
The idea isn't new. Costello says it was inspired by successful programs out of the Los Angeles and Cook County jails. Thanks to a grant from the state health department, the School of Social Work was able to create a program of their own. To date, Costello says more than 15 vending machines have been distributed in Michigan. He's hoping for 20 more this year.
People who take a Narcan kit are not using it for themselves. They're getting it for somebody who they care about or who they know.
What do you say to people who would suggest that these vending machines are only enabling people to use drugs, to use heroin and fentanyl?
Why do we save anyone? Because people are worth saving. It is certainly my hope, and I think the center's hope, that what we do is when a person administers or is administered a Narcan, that they then are connected with treatment.
And Costello mentioned treatment. Another important part of these vending machines is this QR code you see here that you can scan and it will connect a person to local resources for treatment. But Costello says a perfect thing would be for the epidemic to be over to the point where we don't need these vending machines at all. Reporting live at Wayne State University, I'm Ray Strickland, CBS News Detroit.
So important. Thank you, Ray. And you can find our Ray Strickland always working for you, telling your stories from Wayne County. He is working to get the answers you need in your community.
For those of you watching in Detroit tonight, we are always on your block, around the clock. Watching anytime, anywhere, download the CBS News app for free.
And going forward with that forecast, your next weather team tracking not one or two, but 3 different snow systems. We're making up for lost time. We'll talk about how much you can see on Wednesday. That's ahead.
Welcome back to CBS News Detroit at 6. So, are you feeling lucky tonight? If so, how about the Powerball jackpot? The drawing just hours away with only a mere $500 million up for grabs.
Is that all?
That's
the jackpot is now up to $502 million. You can see that drawing right here on CBS Detroit just before the 11 o'clock news. Now, Ahmed, I don't know if it's a good thing if you're feeling lucky, because we know you do quite enjoy forecasting inclement weather events, and we know that's coming this week.
I was born and raised in Dearborn. I want that snow. I really am excited for that.
I want the jackpot.
I'll take that.
That part I understand just fine.
Have your snow.
I'm going with the realistic part, the odds that we can get, and actually the odds that we can forecast with it. So here's what we got going on with that. Going into the rest of our forecast. The next weather team, we've been tracking this actually all the way through the weekend. The first things first is we already have winter storm watches in Lenawee, Monroe, and in Wayne counties. These go all the way from 4 a.m. on Wednesday or 7 a.m. on Wednesday for some of the southern parts of the area until 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Now, these will be replaced by either winter weather advisories or winter storm warnings. And the rest of the area will likely see some type of update as well. I'd expect advisories for areas going a little further north of 696. But once we get past that, of course, the next 7 days, while Wednesday is that big winter storm day, and we'll show you that here in just a moment. Countdown from 20 seconds. Friday and even Sunday and Monday, we have a couple more rounds of snowfall we have to deal with. 2 small clippers that move through, and we see those every year, around 1 to 3 inches each time. We'll have to watch that closely to see if we hold on to those numbers. All right. Did I make it in 20 seconds? Let's go further past that. Into the Futurecast model. We've got the snow, of course, that we had before moving on out. We're left with cloud cover going into Tuesday morning. Now, past that, the heavier line of snow right here moving into parts of Lenawee and Monroe counties from mainly Monroe, Luna Pier, up toward Tecumseh. You go up into the city of Detroit by about 5 or 6 a.m. on Wednesday. The heaviest of it, though, is moving in after the morning commute. So after all of us have had to get stuck in all that construction traffic, including those of us that have to take 275. We know the pain, right? Now, as that swings through and we get into the afternoon, we continue to see more and more. So road conditions will deteriorate as the day goes on. The heaviest of it, and actually the worst road conditions, will be as kids are coming home from school, as school buses are getting on the road, and as everybody's trying to go home during the evening commute on Wednesday. We get past that, snow tapers off rapidly, just like that, going into Thursday morning. So not much more there. And yes, let's talk some initial amounts, shall we? We go into this, and the southernmost portions of the area are likely to see the heaviest of it, okay? I'm going a little lower in some of our northern counties than some of the suggested model runs, because 3 to 5 seems pretty good, actually, especially from Mount Clemens to Pontiac to Howell. Maybe a little closer to 3 to 5 toward Lapeer, and I'm hoping for a little more lake effect going up towards Sanilac itself. I know some of you don't want that, but when I say hoping for it, I really want to nail those numbers down, right? But it is going to be that type of setup where it's more of that wet type of snowfall, so it's a little more difficult to shovel. So if you're somebody that has a heart condition or has more difficulty breathing, make sure you take it easy with shoveling, or ask somebody to help you out a little bit.
Obviously, right now, Wednesday night, concerning for that commute home, for the kids, for everyone coming home from work. I know you'll be watching for that.
We're watching all the way through.
All right, thanks, Ahmed.
And remember, we are always working for you around the clock, including in Clinton Township. We're always streaming on the CBS News app.
We got all the moves. We got all the moves you want to have, because he can shoot, he can score. But he wants to be the first Orthodox Jewish player in the NBA. I'm talking about Ryan Terrell. He'll be talking to me about his role with the Motor City Cruise. That story is next.
CBS News Detroit.
CBS News Detroit sports anchor Ronnie Duncan joins us now. And Ronnie, you've got a guy who could very well make his way into the history books.
Let me put it to you this way. The Pistons, you know what? They had the Milwaukee Bucks tonight, but we already know that the Pistons could use some shooting against the Bucks at Caesars. Little Caesars, that is. After a trip to France last week, we know any language you put it in, the Pistons need some shooting. Perhaps their shooting star is in the G League, and Ryan Terrell. He wears a yarmulke, and he's trying to become the first Orthodox Jewish player in the NBA. And he wants to inspire kids everywhere. You can do whatever you want to do, just like him.
A kid who was nervous about wearing it at the playground, he said, I'm going to start wearing it.
That's the inspiration some are getting from seeing 23-year-old Ryan Terrell, an Orthodox Jew, wear a yarmulke on the court. The 6'7" first-year professional is part of the Pistons G League franchise as a member of the Motor City Cruise. Just the obvious sightings of seeing more kippahs in the crowd is embracing for Ryan.
Stuff like that, says to me this is bigger than basketball. And it's really important, and it's inspiring to me.
That source of inspiration is the driving force behind Ryan Terrell attempting to become the first ever Jewish Orthodox player in the NBA. Still, the big question is, how does Ryan Terrell keep that yarmulke on his head throughout the game?
A lot of people ask, how does it stay on? So we got clips on the inside, clip kippahs, but it's really cool. It's really cool to have the Pistons logo on there, and hopefully we get some more colorways coming in.
What's so special about him is that that's a promotional piece. Keeping that yarmulke on the head with the kippahs, you know what that is? It's sponsored.
I say double technical, you knock off that yarmulke.
TT, 3, 2, 1, I'm done.
And by the way, great seeing you, Ronnie. We know the Pistons, worst team in the conference, they could use the help.
Oh, yes.
Maybe he'll be that guy. All right, for those of you watching in Royal Oak tonight, we are always there around the clock, streaming for free on the CBS News app.
And here's a look at what's coming up next on the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
Good evening, Shayna and Jeff. Coming up after CBS News Detroit. We're on the ground from Monterey Park, California, where the death toll rose to 11 today after a gunman entered this dance hall behind me. Well, tonight we've got our interview with the governor of California, plus the questions that remain about whether these victims were intentionally targeted. That and more news tonight on the CBS Evening News.
CBS News Detroit.
Welcome back. Our next weather team has been hard at work over the last few months, putting together the tools and technology that will help them keep you in the loop. Our next weather meteorologist will make sure you are ready for what's next at a moment's notice.
You might be asking yourself, what exactly does next weather mean and how does it impact you? Well, here's our next weather team to show you what it's all about tonight.
This was Fort Myers as Hurricane Ian made landfall this afternoon.
Please, we encourage you all to please stay off the roads.
Weather forecasts are something that people can get anywhere, right at their fingertips, from their smartphone to their smartwatch. Now, in this environment, it's extremely important for meteorologists to stand out and deliver a forecast in a way that people can't get anywhere else. Next Weather is truly about what comes next. One of our first priorities is delivering the 7-day forecast right away during Weathercast, and then we can dive on into the gritty detail. Our forecast here, we're going to start off with the extended forecast for two reasons. One, it's fantastic.
The Next Weather Tracker is a huge benefit. We have the capability to take it across the market and tell our viewers exactly how the weather will affect them now and in the next few hours.
In a severe weather situation, we started to send out automatic alerts to social media that includes the specific weather alert, radar, and safety tips.
We can also create custom mobile alerts through our weather system that can go to geo-fenced areas, so only people within that boundary, down to the size of a stadium, will be the only ones that get that alert. We can share video, pictures, and even comments instantaneously across all platforms, creating an infinite network of spotters, which our meteorologists can then verify on the fly.
We also updated our crawl system to show all the weather alerts while cross-promoting back to our CBSDetroit.com weather page.
Next Weather is an all-around way to connect to our community by giving them the information they need, whether it be streaming, on air, or on social.
I love that Next Weather Tracker truck. By the way, Wednesday doesn't look great going home. You're giving all of us a ride.
Sounds good to me,
Carpool.
as long as we get behind the wheel. But what's really nice with that, too, is it's not just about, getting out there in some big flashy truck, right? But it reads all kinds of stuff with a weather sensor suite installed, and it also reads the road surface temperature. So on Wednesday morning, we'll be able to figure out how quickly will it accumulate, will it freeze over, all that kind of stuff to help us figure it out.
That truck will be at every elementary, middle school in America.
We've already done a couple visits in Ann Arbor and in Southfield, and it was a blast to bring
But
it
it's
by.
also helping you guys to create that much better of a forecast.
We're all about the science of weather.
Yeah, keeping us ready.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Amit. And here's a look at what's coming up tonight at 11.
It was very shocking.
A community is outraged after a resident puts a symbol of hatred on full display.
And so to see a symbol of hate like that was really upsetting.
Hi, I'm Gino Vici. Tonight at 11, how the community responded and what the city has to say about it.
Also coming up tonight at 11, the return of the Ramadan Festival, the major event bringing people from across the country right here to Dearborn.
CBS News Detroit's Ibrahim Samra will tell us what we can expect as the festival makes a comeback.
Now, before we go tonight at 6 o'clock, we want you to know CBS News Detroit is here for you with news, weather, and sports. Whether you live in Detroit or Warren or Royal Oak, we will tell your stories anytime, anywhere, on TV, on your device, and of course, on your phone. We are everywhere on your time.
And that would not be possible without this entire news team. Actually, most. We're still missing a lot of people here, but all of these people here are multi-skilled and working to provide you more hours of local and live news than anywhere else. Our team of innovative journalists is committed to giving voice to those left unheard. Please join us again. Thanks for joining us tonight.